Hello everybody, welcome back. I have a project pan update video today, so updating you on the progress on the makeup items that are in my project pan. I have one product that has been removed and then I have hit pan on another product, so a couple of little interesting updates in today's video. So I'll just run you through the order in which they appear on my notepad. So I'm going to start off with the item that is going to be removed out of the product pan, and it is unfortunately my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk foundation that I have in the shade 4.25. I have about a quarter of this left, and the reason that I want to move this out of my project pan, or I have moved this out of my project pan, I have made up my mind, is because I am just done with using this product. It's been in my project pan since the very beginning of February, and in total I have used it 90 times as part of this project pan, so I've used it a heck of a lot of times. It is very slow progress. I've marked along the side my progress each kind of month, each update, and it has been very slow. Yes, I have worn it by itself. I've also mixed it in with other foundations, so then when I've mixed it with those other foundations, that has obviously slowed down its progress. But it's just been with me now for half a year. It's been with me for a very long time. It's out of date. I'm pretty sure it went out of date in November last year, so it is a good like 8 months out of date. I think it is fine though, because I haven't had any allergic reactions when I've put it on my skin, so I think it is fine. Smells fine. But the key reason why I'm decluttering this product is because the shade is completely wrong for me. It is far too dark and it ends up looking quite orange on my skin. So my base is too dark, my base is too orange. Powders, bronzers, blushes, highlighters that I add on top of it just makes it that bit darker and that bit more orange. And my overall makeup look then ends up looking just really quite horrible, to be totally honest. And I mentioned this in previous videos, you might have seen my Instagram rant about it as well, but I have really been disliking how my makeup has been looking for basically the whole year, and I think largely that is due to the foundation. It's due to the fact that it's the wrong shade for me. I've tried making it work by mixing in with lighter foundations, mixing it in with my facial moisturiser. That doesn't work. So I've tried to make it work for me. Like I say, it's been in my project pan for 6 months. I've used it 90 times in the project pan alone, not including the number of times I've used it prior to it being in my project pan. So I kind of feel like I've gotten my use out of it. I've gotten my money's worth out of it. I've got a quarter of it left, so I've clearly used a lot of it. And I just don't want to use it anymore. It's 8 months out of date as well. I don't want to keep using that product whilst other foundations either get more out of date, like the other foundation I'm going to talk about in this video, and then my other foundations that aren't out of date, they creep ever closer to the date that they're going to start getting out of date, if you understand what I mean. So yeah, I have decluttered this one out of my project pan, but also out of my collection as well. And I think I'm going to film as well a makeup declutter video. I've been saying for a while now that I am at the end of the year going to do a big makeup declutter where I declutter a lot of my makeup, but I think I'm ready to do it now. So that video will probably be coming soon, so expect to see some eyeshadows appearing in that declutter video. But anyway, that one is gone, that one is out of my collection, and so I have replaced it with another foundation. I now have 3 in my collection. This one is only just out of date. I think it went out of date middle of June, so it's not too bad in terms of the urgency to get it used up, but this is fairly full. I haven't marked the bottle on this. I am just gonna give you updates in terms of number of usage, but it was basically right up here, so working on being pretty much full. So this is my NARS Sheer Glow foundation in the shade Deauville, and this is much better for me. It is a much better match for my skin tone. So if I just show you the bottles side by side, you can see just how much darker and how much more orange the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk is. The NARS one, a much better shade match for me, and I like that it's a lighter coverage foundation. It's a bit more what I'm after. I do really like the Luminous Silk one. I think it is a lovely foundation, but I do think I prefer how the Sheer Glow looks on my face as well. It just looks that little bit more dewy, more radiant, a bit more kind of breathable as well, a bit more of a natural sort of finish. So I'm going to be working on this until I've completely used it up. It will definitely take me until the end of the year, possibly into next year as well. But in terms of this update, I've used it 15 times. Next product, this is a mini. This is by Hourglass. This is the Ambient Lighting Diffused Light Powder. I've used this one 18 times since the previous update, and I'm now being able to see the bottom of this. This is like a honeycomb type of base to it. I call it hitting pan, but with these products it's not technically a pan, but it kind of is. So I can really see the base of this now. This is incredibly thin. This I think should take me another month, depending on how much I wear makeup this month. If you saw my empties video, I did give you a little bit of a skin update. Basically I'm stripping my skincare routine back to basics, and I'm gonna potentially not wear makeup as often as I have been wearing. So if I end up wearing makeup not very frequently at all, then this will obviously take that bit longer to use up, but there's not much left in here at all. So 18 uses since the previous update. This one should also be an empty by the next update. Regardless of how often I wear makeup this month, I will still be wearing it, and I think this one will only take like another 2, 3, 4 uses worth, and then it's used up. This is my e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand Contour. When I use this, I'm squeezing this right at the top, and it's now really sheer when I've been putting it on, so there's basically not much of this left at all. I've used this one also 18 times since the previous update. When I did my previous Project Pan update video, somebody did ask, can I give total numbers of items when I use them up? So that's a really great idea. And when I finish this one up, when I finish off the powder, I will try to remember to do that, because I think it's useful to and interesting to hear how many times in total it takes me to use up something when it's in my Project Pan. Next product, also 18 times. This is my Vive Bronzing Duo. The pan on this side has gotten a lot bigger. Haven't hit pan on this side yet, but this side I don't like as much because it's darker, it's more orange. This one is a much more natural bronzer for me. So when I completely use up this side, I will be getting rid of this because I don't use this one. It would be far too orangey as well for an eyeshadow for me, so there wouldn't be much use of keeping hold of this. Hopefully I can finish this one up by the end of the year. This one is also out of date, but it's a powder. I don't think powders really matter too much. You can always just spray them with some alcohol. But Vive products have really short shelf lives. They only have like 12-month shelf lives. But anyway, should be done with this one by the end of the year, making some good progress with the pan on that one. The next product I have used 18 times since the previous update. It is my pink blusher from the Vive palette. But the most important thing with this, wait for it, is that I've hit pan. Finally, I have hit pan in this product. This has been such a long time coming. I have used up all 3 powders in this palette, and I was using them at the same time as using this pink blusher. These ones weren't, you know, really thin in comparison to this one. They were all at a pretty similar level in terms of usage, but yet they were so much easier to use up than this one. This one was really stubborn. It just looked like I'd barely touched it, and then one day I used it, looked back at the pan and was like, I've hit pan in it. So that was quite exciting because I didn't really think that this would happen. Obviously it would, it had to have happened at some point, but it just all of a sudden one day happened, and now the pan is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger each time I use it. So this one will also be an empty by the end of the year. It's just a lovely natural, slightly warm pink blusher, great for a little flush of colour on the cheeks, nothing too kind of bright or vivid or intense, great for a natural makeup look. And Vive blushes and bronzers and eyeshadows, the quality of their powder products are brilliant. I have another blusher from Vive. I use this one 17 times. This is Pesca. This is a great peach colour. I wear this one with that pink blusher. I mix them in together and it just adds just a little bit of peach to the pink blusher, and it still adds to that natural, healthy, natural blush colour. Really lovely. Absolutely no idea when I'm going to hit pan on this one, but that's not really my priority with this one. The reason this one is in my project pan is just so I can get it used. It's been sat on my dressing table for a while being untouched, and it shouldn't be because it's a brilliant product. So putting it in my project pan for a while just gets it used and gets me enjoying products that I know that I like. This is how much is left of my Merit highlighter. I've used this one 18 times since the previous update. I should be done with this one by the end of the year. I feel like this one has steady progress each month in terms of the progress pictures. This one I use in like C motions on the side of my cheeks. I use a little bit down my nose as well. If it's really warm, and it has been recently, and I've got a bit more of like my décolleté on show or my shoulders, I will pop some on there as well. Maybe a bit down my calves. So I try to use this one as a body product as well at the moment. And this one has really grown on me. I didn't like it when I first got it because it just looked really greasy. But I really like this one now. I think it's such a lovely little flush, not so much a flush, but a little bit of like sheen on the face. It's not glittery and sparkly, it's just a little bit of glow that when you move your head and you catch yourself in a bit of light, just a nice little bit of sheen and radiance. The two eyeshadows in my project pan, Patina, I used that one 4 times since the previous update, so not much at all. It's excuse me, it's difficult to balance these two with my Pan That Eyeshadow Palette Challenge that I've got going on. I have an interesting update for that one though. That one will be coming in a few days. So yeah, it's difficult to wear all of these eyeshadows, but the shade Patina, it's so interesting. It's like a bronzy gold brown, really interesting shade. And then the one next to it is Wood Rinked. This one I used 8 times. This is a really lovely bronze brown, a little bit of gold in there, really lovely. Lovely mixed in together, but also great as like one and done eyeshadow looks. So I am just trying to use these as much as I can until the end of the year, and then I will be throwing these away because I'm not much of an eyeshadow person, not really into powders so much as well at the moment, and these are so many years out of date. Again, they're powders, they're fine. People have powders in their collection for like 30, 40, 50 years and it's absolutely fine. But I'm just a little bit like, don't think I really want to because I have sensitive eyes. And then last product is by House of Colour. This is a liquid lipstick that I use as a liquid blusher. I use this one also 18 times since the past update, and looking at the applicator, it looks fairly see-through now. When I'm using this now, the past few times, I've had to really like scrape the wand against the side of the applicator so this one might also be an empty by the next update, which would be exciting because that would be potentially the Hourglass powder, the contour, and then yeah, the liquid lipstick. That would be great if I could get 3 empties by the next update. But that is how my project pan is currently looking. Back to 10 items in my project pan, so it feels a little bit more manageable than it did a few months ago when I was at maybe what, 14, 15 items in the project pan, trying to balance a lot of products. And like I say, my next video will be my update for the Pan That Eyeshadow Palette Challenge. That will be a fairly interesting update. I will tell you about my plans for that. And then I've got possibly some declutter type videos planned as well. So hopefully some interesting videos coming up. But thank you very much for watching this one. Hope you did like it, and I will see you again soon for my next one. Take care. Bye bye.